I mean, every time I watch it, I go, man, that's a hilarious episode. I'm glad I did it. But while I was doing it, I was cussing them. I was mad.
Yeah.
And I came across Owen Wilson. I go, Owen, what's going on? Hey, promoting the movie, man. I go, man, you think they're going to do another one? He goes, oh, I hope so. I love doing this. So he was all like, yeah, let's hope there is another one. We was at Dale Brisby's, lost the whole tape because the power went out. I drove over in a 1986 Trans Am with T-tops with a big blue bird I just had painted on the hood.
Yeah.
And a pair of lace-up ropers, jeans, a sleeveless Nebraska T-shirt, and a NASCAR hat. That's what I drove over in. And he introduced me as Larry the Cable Guy for the first time and went up and slayed it.
Yeah.
Get her done. Is that good? Is that a good? No. Get her done. Is that closer? We're going to let Dan the man, we're going to let Larry the Cable Guy do that for you. Man, he's turned into a buddy of mine, a good friend of mine. We've got to interact a few times. We pitch each other we text each other a lot, and we're on a first-name basis. This podcast was so fun to do with Larry the Cable Guy until the power went out. We were in Vegas at the Airbnb. Have no idea. It was a sunny day, but it really messed with some of the audio. We sent it off to a foreign land, California. They've enhanced it, and so it's still super. You can hear it. It's great. It's better audio than our early podcasts, but there is a difference. It's like an hour in, you'll hear it. But super good story, and just wanted to brief you on that. But yeah, Dan is a good friend of mine. Larry the Cable Guy, super fun story. Crack a ranch fuel and listen in. Use code Dale on ranchfuel.com for 15% off. And I hope you're wearing a Rodeo Time hoodie that you got on rodeotime.com. Otherwise, you ain't no cowboy. Donnie, let's hear from Dan. Turn it over. You might bring that in close. There you go. You know more about those than I do.
Hey, yours stays like this. Mine at the house completely drops, and I got to hold it. For some reason, the screw ain't working on my series thing.
Yeah.
I put this whole nice recording studio in, and the freaking microphone. I'll set it right here, and it won't. I can't get it to stop.
Would you like one of these?
No, I'll have one in a little bit.
Okay.
I haven't ever had one of these. I see you drinking them all the time. It's just an energy drink, right?
Yes, sir. Only 6 ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's in it?
Did you know what is it? Is it the macaroni at Chick-fil-A has like over 60 ingredients or 49 or something?
Is it really?
Macaroni and cheese?
Well, I tell you what, it's good, though. Holy smokes, that mac and cheese is good.
Isn't it?
Yeah. But that Chick-fil-A, I love it, but...
You come out here every year, don't you?
Yeah. I've been coming out here. I think I missed a few because I was working. But since I quit working as much, I like to come out here and do all this, especially since my kids started riding and my daughter's trying to learn how to break away. And, we'll come out here. And no Clayton. I root for Clayton.
Sellers?
Yeah.
Well, he's a pretty good one to root for.
Yeah, I don't know Josh. They know Josh, but I don't know Josh. Yeah. But yeah, Clayton. Well, I root for Clayton because he's Florida kid.
Yep.
And I always remember when Tater Porter. Mm-hmm. I sponsored Tater forever. I love Tater, but I used to come out to the PBR all the time. And I remember Tater, for some reason, and I like Donnie Gay, but for some reason, he didn't like Florida Cowboys. Mm. And I remember when Tater won, everybody rushed him, and he ran over to the announcer's booth and goes, "Hey, Donnie, how about them Florida Cowboys? How about them Florida Bull Riders?"
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I come out here a lot.
There's a lot of Floridians.
Yeah. I was rooting for, and we had in Nebraska, we got a Nebraska bronc rider. What's his name
Court
again?
Shear?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean this year?
Yeah.
I'm not sure this year.
Shadbolt.
I know Court Shear's from Nebraska.
Yeah. Shadbolt.
He was he was really, I think, one of the ones that helped put the mullets back on the map lately. Especially, he made it cool with bronc riders.
Man, I wish I grew a mullet again. I had a mullet in high school, college.
You can get plugs, can't you?
I can get plugs. I'm 60 years old. What am I getting plugs?
You got enough hair for a mullet?
Well, the mullet part where it starts, though, isn't there.
Okay, gotcha.
I got a little bald spot right there. So,
man, that would fit your act so well.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We usually start with some questions from the audience.
Oh, yeah. Have we started yet?
We have.
Have we started?
Yeah.
I didn't even know if we've started yet.
If Donnie says we have.
Donnie, have we started?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So these are questions from the audience.
All right.
Citizens of Winnebago, as I call them. And sometimes we write down who asked them.
You know, I was going to wear my old son sweatshirt.
Dadgummit.
I do. I wear it all the time. You know, on stage a ton of times I wear my orange Del Brisby cut off sleeveless.
Yeah.
You know, and but I bought this sweatshirt. I've put on like 40 pounds in the last 6 months. I can't fit in your sweatshirt because I'm a triple X. I bought a nice double X Del Brisby sweatshirt, an old son. I used to wear it. Now it's too tight. So
yeah, we'll get you one. Okay.
But after Christmas, I'm gonna lose my weight, so I'll get back in.
You tell me. You want to lose the weight? That's fine, or I can get you a triple X.
No, no, don't do that because then I'm not gonna have any incentive to lose weight. You know, so
Yep.
I gotta. Here's the thing about losing weight.
Okay.
6 months ago, I was 48 pounds lighter.
Okay.
And I'm at a game. I'm at a Husker game, and somebody comes up to me and goes, "Hey, Larry, you all right?" And I go, "Yeah, why?" "You lost a lot of weight." "Well, yeah, I'm trying to lose weight." "Oh, okay." "No, man, you look good." "No, I don't. Evidently, I look like I got cancer or something because you just said. So now I'm freaking out. You know, maybe I'm sick. Maybe that's why I've lost weight. Maybe it wasn't that hard work I did on, getting on treadmills. So I said, well, I better, you know what? Because I'm a hypochondriac. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go home and I'm going to eat whatever I want for 2 weeks and see if I can gain weight. And I know I'm not sick. And I did. Gained 48 pounds back.
Great. You're an overachiever, sounds like.
You know what? I'm fat again, but at least I don't have cancer.
And at least people don't think there's anything wrong with
people don't think anything's wrong with me.
Yeah. Well,
but nobody's coming up to me going, "Hey, you look good."
Some people don't, because wasn't there? That's one of the questions from the audience. There was a rumor going around on the internet in 2023 that you died. Is there any truth to that?
I passed away a few years ago.
Okay.
And
dang, so it was true.
This is my work ethic, though. It's my work ethic. Even in death, I'm doing stuff, baby. That's what's got me on the map. That's that good work ethic. I've died 4 or 5 times on the internet. Me and Ron White. Ron White's always dead once every month and a half.
Yeah.
I'm only a few years.
Yeah, normally you would hear like birthdays get mixed up. Oh, it's such and such birthday today.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But for you, it's actually that
It's dead.
Gum, he passed away.
I'm doing pretty good though for being dead.
Yeah, for sure. Another question from the audience: what do you have against shirt sleeves?
Well, you know what? I used to make money doing that. I would cut the sleeves off and I would sell them to strippers for leggings.
Okay.
And we had a really cool thing. That way I wouldn't spend as much on a shirt. We'd go in halves. We'd find a T-shirt or some kind of a shirt we like. And then I'd
shorter.
wear the rest. And then there's a lot of strippers out there with Wrangler leggings.
Okay. Yeah. Should have started a nonprofit for it. WranglerLeggingsForStrippers.org.
No, early on, here's how the sleeveless thing started. I'm a bigger guy, and I loved flannel shirts because they hang nice, And so I would wear flannel shirts. Well, when we filmed Blue Collar, the first Blue Collar movie, it was in Phoenix in July. Flipping hot. So I cut the sleeves out of my shirt. I said, I'm just going to go sleeveless. It's too hot. And so I performed with no sleeves. And I'd always performed with a flannel on, but sleeves. And so I went to do right after that. Then I got big and popular, and people started figuring out who I was. And I went to a show one time, and I had a denim shirt on, a Stroker Ace shirt. Stroker Ace.
Yeah.
And there's all these people in my green room for a meet and greet, and they all got sleeveless flannel shirts on. And I walk in there, and they go, first thing, "Hey, where's your sleeveless shirt? We wore sleeveless shirts." I'm like, you know what? And I was so proud of this Stroker Ace shirt.
Yeah.
My friend Christine bought me this Stroker Ace. I'm like, I'm going to wear this. It's going to be my new stage shirt, the Stroker Ace shirt.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll be right back. I went to the bus. I took it off. I never put it on again. I put on my sleeveless flannel. And from that point on, I always went sleeveless because people, they remember me as being the sleeveless. So I'm like, all right, I'll go sleeveless. I don't care. It's easy. It's easy for me. Now I don't have to worry about putting anything on to do my show. Ron White always said, I'm the only guy that can go from yard work to the stage in the same outfit. And that's true. So I just always go sleeveless. And it's easy. Now it's really like, I'm really lazy. Now I don't even do the sleeveless flannel. Now I just throw in a t-shirt. I remember one time we show up at a gig and I've got on a sleeveless Battle of the Network Stars shirt on that I traveled in. I love Battle of the Network Stars. Remember that show?
No.
Well, Battle of the Network Stars was huge in the 70s and early 80s.
Okay.
And it was all these celebrities. ABC, NBC, and CBS competed against each other. So, you got Ed Asner out there run from the Mary Tyler Moore Show, running a 40-yard dash against Scott Baio. And, they did the obstacle course and all that. You ever run an obstacle course?
Occasionally, I'll find myself on one.
Last time I was in
Life is an obstacle course.
It
I
is.
think.
Last time I was on an obstacle course, a bouncer chased me up a stripper pole. So, anyway. So, I had that shirt on. And my opening act's on stage. I go, what's he got left? I go, about 7 minutes. All right, one more change. And I took off my sleeveless Battle of the Network shirts, and I put on a sleeveless Dick Trickle t-shirt. There was really no change. I went from one sleeveless t-shirt to another one.
Oh, I got to get my outfit on.
Yeah, so that's the cool. That's the cool thing about what I do and how people recognize me from the stage is just I've always had no sleeves, so it's perfect. It's the greatest thing. Now nobody ever expects me. I mean, I got a regular life, I mean, my real name's Dan, obviously. I have a regular life when I'm not on stage. I'm myself. I got family. But if I get invited, but I like to use it because when I get invited somewhere nice, nobody expects me to have sleeves on. So I'll go to these fancy deals. Everybody's got a tux or a suit, and I show up in a pair of shorts and sleeves, and nobody thinks. And if I did, those few times that I did show up, and I was kind of dressed up, they're like, man, what are you dressed up for? Nobody expects you to be dressed up. I'm like, all right, I'll go change. So I go up and change. So that's the cool thing about it. I remember one time I did a thing in Nebraska. They had a round table, and it was me, Coach Tom Osborne, and Warren Buffett. We're getting interviewed by this. And Buffett's up there in a suit, Coach is up there in a suit, and I'm sitting up there in a pair of shorts, sleeveless Nebraska t-shirt, and a camo hat. And it was great. And then Coach Osborne goes, about halfway through, he goes, it's not fair that he gets to be like that. Hold on a second. He stood up and took his jacket off, and he'd cut off the sleeves to his shirt. So he sat there with a.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he sat there with no sleeves on his shirt too. So Warren Buffett looks like the odd man out.
Did he know who you were?
Oh
Warren
yeah.
Buffett?
Yeah, a little bit. He knows where I'm from and everything. So
right.
Yeah, he knew about it.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool. He's a good guy.
Yeah. All right, another question from the
Thanks
audience.
for having me. I'll talk to you later. It's been nice to be on the Dale Brisby show.
Yeah, that's our show.
I'm a big fan of Dale Brisby.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
I was sitting home and we're watching stuff and went through YouTube and you popped up. This was years ago. And I'm like going, man, this guy's just hilarious. Who is this guy? You know, Rodeo Cowboy. It was Dale Brisby. I keep hearing this. So then we locked into the flipping Winnebago.
Yeah.
And whenever there's nothing on TV, we'll watch you.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. No, when you are really, really bored, let's turn on some
we
Rodeo
watch
time.
every episode. We're sitting there. We'll just be sitting on. Ain't that right? White? My boy's here. Isn't that right? We'll be sitting. I'll go. Let's see. Hey, see what Brisby's got on today. So we'll flip over to Brisby.
Well, yeah. What I've heard, when there's nothing on TV, people will pull up Dale Brisby. But when there's nothing on TV and then the internet's out, they'll get out some old blue collar tapes.
Yeah, right. I hear you. No, it's great. We love it. It's funny stuff.
No, yeah.
But we love it because, you know, I grew up. No, I didn't grow up we had cattle when I grew up, but I grew up, my dad was a horse guy, and I literally started raising pigs when I was 8 years old. I befriended the candy klepper, the guy that ran the sale barn. I lived right next door to the cattle barn.
Okay.
And so I'd grab my whip and I'd go over there and I'd unload cattle trucks when I was a kid. And Kenny'd put me in the ring and I got to be the ring man.
That's a great place to start.
And I loved it. So my whole childhood was loading and unloading cattle trucks and writing out tickets. But my wife grew up on a 3,000 acre Black Angus cattle ranch in northern Wisconsin. So my wife's really the cow person. And, but you know, as kids, we just always went to rodeos and little britches. And so I've been around it my whole life. We had 14 registered paints, horses. My dad did paints. And, so we've grown up in the lifestyle. So I don't know what the point of that was. I was just saying. So, yeah. So
it made you appreciate my content.
Well, it did. It made us appreciate you were on there because it was cool. Because we loved that whole thing, you know. So it was kind of cool. There was a show that we could actually watch that was fun. It was funny, and it revolved around things we did when we were growing up. It was kind of neat.
Well, I think maybe that's where our paths are a little similar is that, you know, you guys, the blue collar team, really came along at a time when the country didn't have someone to represent us.
Right.
And then maybe I was that, at least on YouTube to a certain degree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smaller scale. But still, like, it was when nobody was really watching things on the internet, like, it's like, okay, finally, you know, we've got these guys that can represent us. And
yeah, and that's the good thing about the internet and YouTube and all that kind of stuff, that you can get your wares out. You don't need a television station. If you got a popular YouTube channel, that serves just as much as TV nowadays. Mm-hmm. So it was really cool. But the point was, it was really cool coming across all your stuff because we've related to a lot of what was going on. Like when we watch, sometimes we'll watch. It's really funny because my wife's so good. I don't shut up.
That's okay. It's a podcast.
My wife's like, you know, I remember when I went to the sale barn, I bought into, invested in, bought some shares into the sale barn there in Nebraska. So anyway,
you were heavily invested in the sale barn.
Well, I invested some money into the sale barn, and she said, "Why would you do that? You know, you're not going to make a big investment. Sale barn's not going to pay you back that much money." I said, "Well, here's the deal. I can go down there anytime I want, and if I want to load a cattle truck or a hog truck, I can hop on the chute and help out. They can't tell me to get the hell off the chute."
Yeah.
So I bought into the thing, right?
Yeah.
I did get a dividend check, though, I think of $1,100 last year. So, so
we're back in the game.
We love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, it's I think that that's one of the things that helped me get started. There wasn't a lot of people on the internet making content around rodeo and ranching, and so it allowed me to I've heard you can either be first or you can be the best, and I happen to be both.
Well, you know, exactly. But here's, you know, what's funny about that, I learned from Foxworthy, because Foxworthy told me a long time, it's called show business for a reason. And you got to be good at the business, and you got to be good at the show. And if you're not good at the business, you're going to have you're going to not have as many attempts at the show. But if you're good at the business
and not the show,
the show's going to keep coming. Well, and if you're good at the business and not good at the show, then when your time comes, it's not going to work because you're not good at the show.
Yes, sir.
So he says, always make sure if you're good at the show, make sure you're good at the business because the business is going to get you to the show. And once you get to the show, you better be prepared for it because that's your opportunity.
Dang.
Yeah. And so I noticed like friends of mine now that are coming up, I didn't have the internet. I pushed my wares like Jeff did on morning radio and things like that. But now the internet's come on. So those comedians that are out there like working hard on the internet, getting their stuff out on the internet, I mean, that is key. And so that's why when people come on my show, I tell them like Bert Kreischer, like Bert's a buddy of mine, but Bert is a number one comedian at promoting himself. I mean, even if he goes to work out material at a comedy club, he'll put out a fully produced 1.5 minute YouTube commercial. Right. It's like, wow, Bert, this is amazing. But that's the cool thing about you. You promote. You know how to work it. You know, you're a heavy promoter, and that's what it takes with the merchandise and I mean, man, that's good. People that have learned how to use that internet for them to boost them up. That is a winner right there. That's better than any. That's better than getting a sitcom.
Yes, sir.
It is. It's better than getting a sitcom.
Well, I think for me, I had to find a way to fund it, you know, and that's where the apparel came in because that allowed me to keep doing the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the business side of my show.
Absolutely.
Was because I see what you guys did as a much bigger challenge because you had so many middlemen. I get to produce my own thing, put it on the internet, go straight to the market.
Right.
But you guys had to go through agents and you had to have a manager. The network had to be okay with it.
Yeah.
There's just so many middlemen that you guys had to.
Yeah, the business has changed so much. Back then you didn't need that kind of stuff because you didn't have the connections. They had the connections. You didn't have the internet. You didn't have stuff like that. You relied on them to help get you things to be seen. You don't need people like that anymore. If you're a good self-promoter and you have a good product and you're kicking butt on social media, you can eliminate a lot of that.
Does it give you the itch to maybe, I don't know, have your own? Well, you've got your show on the internet. You've got a podcast. But
I'm on Sirius XM. Jeff and I have a show on Sirius XM.
Right.
We each do some live content, but we have that show. But that's really the only thing I do on the internet.
But I guess maybe like if you were to like tape some of your live shows and give yourself like an internet push, like those comedians you're talking about that are doing that today, do you have any desire to go down that rabbit hole?
You know, no, I mean, I love what I do, you know, but I've been out there a long time. So I think I'm not a big internet guy. I was very fortunate to be blessed with a really good career before all that came along. So I'm just kind of slowing down. I only do 24 dates a year at the most. I am going to film a new special in March. I wasn't gonna, but I had some material left over from my last special that I've been building on. So I'm doing that, and so that'll be out there. But as far as having an internet channel and doing that, you know what? I'm just sitting at home and watching my kids grow and enjoying life.
You bet.
Man, Dale, I was on the road 287 days a year.
Golly.
And that was, I mean, after I hit, I was on 200, but I was in a tour bus with my wife, with my kids. And even before my wife and kids came along, I did that. And then before I got popular, I was driving around the country 250 days a year.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much
over it.
I love what here's the cool situation. I'm doing what I love. I get to go out 12, 13 weekends a year, play star for a night and make people laugh. And then I get to play golf while I'm out there. And then I get to go home and I get to be with my family.
Yes, sir.
You know, because you see so many people, man, they get like They work. Look, when you're a comedian, you can work till you're 100 years old, because you're a comedian.
Right.
So I don't ever intend on saying I'm going to retire and I'm going to quit. I'm always going to do it. I like doing it. I like writing jokes and getting up and make people laugh. It is fun. It really soothes my soul to get up there, and there's nothing better than a big belly laugh from the crowd. But so I'll never retire or quit. I'll take a ton of time off. But, man, I love being home and just enjoying life, because there's so many people that work and work and work, and they don't really even need to work, but they just got to find something to do. And then they end up, when it's time to retire, they're crippled, or they can't walk, or they can't. I don't want to be like that. I want to be able to enjoy life a little bit before I get all, I only got a good few years left. I mean, I'm 61. I'm 61 years old, so I'm the same age as Angela Lansbury in Murder. I was thinking about that a while back. I was like, going 61. I don't look 61. I don't feel 61. I don't act 61. Yeah, I'm doing all right. And then my buddy sent me a text. He goes, "You do realize you're the same age as Angela Lansbury in Murder, She Wrote." I'm thinking, oh my gosh. I'll be honest, she's kind of hot.
Yeah. I've always thought that.
Man, I went to see Shania Twain the other day. They gave us tickets to go see Shania. Holy smokes.
Yeah, still got it.
Oh,
She still got it.
she looks 28.
Yep. Fountain of Youth.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't get rid of my mind.
She probably drinks ranch fuel. That's
I
probably
bet
what it
she
is.
does.
Yeah.
Drink ranch fuel.
Yeah, I with my line of work, a natural progression for a lot of the people that are doing what I do.
What is it you do again?
Exactly. Well, they normally end up doing stand-up comedy, but I just don't have an intense desire to try and do stand-up comedy.
No,
Seems like a whole different game to tackle.
Well, it's tough getting started, that's for sure. But everybody finds their niche. This is your niche. I can't even imagine you do nothing else. You're Dale Brisby, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're Dale Brisby. It's awesome.
Just,
I mean, when you can enter. Look, there's a lot of people that make me laugh. You genuinely make me laugh. I love the show. I wouldn't be watching you. I wouldn't have come on the show if I didn't think you genuinely made me laugh. But you're a funny guy. But you're you're perfect for your deal.
yeah.
For
whatever you do.
Well, no, Rodeo needed somebody
Yes, sir.
to come along that was young and that was fun and that could laugh at themselves and that's what it needs.
Yes, sir.
And, you have you go to the rodeos and you have good clowns, funny men, and you have some bad funny men. But you're something different. You're not that, but you're just a funny guy, and you're in the business. You know all about it, and you're funny, and your sketches are funny, and so people that are in the business of rodeo and like rodeo, it gives them something entertaining that they're associated with. That was the thing that was lacking with rodeo. Rodeo was this, and then all of a sudden, you come along, and it's like, wow, this is really cool. No, I appreciate it. It's really good.
No, I appreciate all of that. It means a lot. It's definitely, I remember riding in the pickup and, watching y'all's. God, I can remember specifically sitting in a certain parking lot listening to your stand-up on a CD. And so I say that to say it means a lot to now fast forward life and hear you say that.
Look, it's like a big love connection in here.
Yeah, we've just got,
Now let me tell you what I don't like.
Okay. Now
let's get to the nitty gritty of this BS
second
that
half
you're doing.
of this podcast. Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Well, what else have you learned? What else? That's awesome. The sounds like a deep track the show business advice you got from Jeff. Like running around with those guys for that many years. Like there's got to be something else that stuck with you.
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. Now Jeff and I, he's like my adopted brother. I love him like a brother.
Okay.
And I met Jeff way back in 1986.
Dang.
A long time ago when me and him and a guy named Vic Henley, who passed away, bless his soul, but we were all comedians. We were Atlanta Braves fans, and I was living in West Palm Beach, Florida. Just started doing stand-up. Didn't even know what I really wanted to do. I was only 22 years old, and just came back from college in Georgia and never went back, because I got a pretty good job making money. So I said, I'll make more money doing this than I would going to school.
Right.
Just kind of drifting around. And then I met Jeff, and I was an open mic comedian. And I had season tickets to the Atlanta Braves spring training games. I had 4 tickets. So 2 weeks a year, every night, every day, me, Jeff, and my buddy Chris and Vic, we'd go to Braves games. That's all we did. And I just got to know Jeff really good. And that was a good time. But we play off each other so good. I think that's why Jeff and I do some shows together. And, of course, we have that show on Sirius. But it's like we just riff off each other so good. It's like we have the same mind almost.
Dang.
And we did a Christmas, we had to do a Christmas special for Sirius. And I didn't work on nothing. I didn't write any jokes for it. We have to do like an hour and a half Christmas special on Sirius Radio. And I know Jeff didn't do nothing. He's too busy fishing or hunting or something. So we got on there, and they had a couple of guests for us. And we get on there, and Jeff goes, "Hey, Larry, what was the best Christmas gift you ever got?" And boom, it was on. I mean, we had so much material, just riffing. We just riffed with no script. Him and I just riffed for an hour and a half, an hour, whatever it was. And we can do that. It's fun. That's what made Blue Collar fun, and that's what made Them Idiots fun, because at the end, that was with me, Jeff, and Bill Engvall, Them Idiots. The stool part, when you go out and sit on the stools. That's what made that so fun. Because that started out just we were going to go out there and each one of us do a bit.
Uh-huh.
And we just started throwing stuff out and riffing off each other. And it turned into the best part of the show.
I forgot about it till you mentioned that. Now I can
into,
picture y'all looking at each other and turning and
turned into the best part of the show. And then one time when Jeff and I started doing some shows together, but that started with I was doing a charity event for Team Jack in Nebraska, this kid that had brain cancer, brain tumor. And so Jeff, I asked him if he'd be my special guest. I wouldn't tell anybody he was coming. So Jeff came out.
And he goes, "So how do you want to end it?" I go, "Let's just do what we normally do. Just go out, grab stools and take questions from the audience. Take questions." I go, "Yeah, we just go out and take questions." It's a little different than Blue Collar, Then we acted like we took questions, and then later on when we did questions, but just you and me, let's just take questions. It'll be fun. All right, let's do it. So I went and did my thing, brought Jeff up, and man, we killed it because it was all ad lib.
Yeah.
The audience got to participate.
Yeah.
And just riffed right out. So then when Jeff and I toured together, we did some stuff together, and that's how we ended our shows. We'd go out there and we'd riff off each other for 25 minutes.
Do you think that, I mean, there's obviously talent, or is there talent and skill? But I say that to say, I feel like if I'm on stage doing that 9 times out of 10, maybe 10 times out of 10, 2 hours later, 2 months later, I should have said this, or this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But you guys can say it right then. And it just comes up right then. Is that a skill that you honed, or is that was it in you?
Well, it's in you. You just got to pull it out. But that comes with comfort.
Oh,
the comfort of being on stage. It comes with comfort of having so many performances. It comes with comfort of just like, I'm gonna say it. I don't care if it's funny. It's funny, but I'm just comfortable doing it. So you gotcha. If I got other stuff, it's gonna be a laugh. But that's it. I think just experience and stage time.
Yeah.
And then it kind of opens your mind up to, Steve Martin said that in his book. It takes a good 10 years for you to really hit your stride on stage. 10 years to where your mind, where you come into your own. And but there's still times though. Well, we'll go back and we'll be talking about the show. We go, man, there was a joke I could have popped in when you said, and then you think, oh man, I wish I'd have said that, but you didn't say it. But yeah, you just get comfortable with it, I can tell. Look, I can tell by watching your videos, from the latest to the earliest, how much more comfortable you are
Yes, sir.
in your later stuff, because you've been doing it a while. And so now it's just like, well, this is going to work. You can kind of know what direction you can go now,
Yes, sir.
what's going to get a laugh and what's not going to get a laugh, or what's going to be funny or what's not going to be funny. Even in situations where you're like, you're just, like when I did the History Channel, I never wanted to know what I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to be, but I didn't want to know what I was going to do because I wanted to be spontaneous. I didn't want to. So I did a show one time, and we're there, and I go, so what do we do? And they go, we're going to do a show on anvils. I'm like, anvils? Yeah, the history of the anvil. So there's a guy that's got a collection of like 800 anvils. 800 anvils. How am I going to make this funny? What is funny about an anvil, right? And so you go in there and you tape for 6 hours for literally a 14-minute episode. There was 3 episodes in each hour. And so we went in there, and it was really funny.
Was it?
We got a lot of good stuff out.
Was that? Did you have another show similar to that, or is that the one I'm remembering? I don't remember it being on the History Channel, but I remember you go around to different,
That was History Channel.
kind of like.
Only in America.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Yes, I do remember that show. I do remember
And
that show.
So you tape that long, and then you edit out the garbage, and then you put together 14 minutes of everything that was funny. I mean,
Sounds like our YouTube art.
yeah. Hey, when you're out there, you're filming all day out there at Winnebago.
Yes, sir. Yep.
You're out
Radio Range.
Radiator Ranch, Winnebago.
Yeah.
But yeah, you film all day, man. You'll edit it up because you're funny. That's why you're funny. So you're gonna get at least out of
A little
3 hours.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna get some funny stuff.
Yes, sir.
And so that's what I did. So that's when I started figuring out, well, there's really nothing that's like, we'll come up with something.
Right.
One of my favorite ones was falconing. Went out with a falcon and this guy. So what are we doing today? He goes, well, we're going to, how they used to hunt without weapons. A falcon, sometimes the settlers, they'd send a falcon out to bring home a rabbit right?
Wow.
Okay, let's do that.
I missed this episode.
Yeah, it was crazy. So the guy has this beautiful falcon. He's got, I forget what the name was. The guy's name was Tom, though. He's got this falcon. And I had the thing on my shoulder, and he's going to fly to you. Okay, he flew to me. He goes, whatever he did, and it flew back to him. And he goes, okay. He told me what he's going to do and the whole thing. And he goes, well, you know what, let me set him off to blah, blah, blah. And I'll show you that he'll go here and then we'll come back. All I gotta do is do this little deal, whistle, whatever it is. And it takes off and it doesn't come back. It does not come back. And I'm thinking, oh, man, this poor guy, he's raised this thing from a baby and it's not coming at. Now I can see the look of concern because he's got to film a show. And this thing's gone. He goes, well, he'll come back. He'll be back. I'm not worried about it. You're not worried about it? No, I got one. I got another one. No, I got one more that I've had for a long time, and she'll be fine. So I was okay. Opens occasionally. Gone. I'm not lying. Gone. And the look on his face, I felt bad for him because he's just like, oh, you can tell. He's like, oh my gosh. And so and in my head, I'm going, I got to film for 6 hours and I got no falcons. So I go, well, Tom, we got to go find these falcons. Yeah, where do you think they're at? Well, let's go find a falcon. Don't worry, we're going to find these falcons.
So that's the show now.
The show is looking for Tom's falcon. And so it was so we ended it up into like a 15-minute piece and it was hilarious. Just this poor guy, Tom.
Did you end up finding him?
Never found the falcon. Never felt.
Oh, it's gone.
I felt bad for old Tom, but yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's how you do it. You just you don't think your situation is gonna be funny, and you're filming the show and taping the show. You're gonna get something funny out of it.
Yeah.
So
no, that's how our vlog is. Which is what I call the rodeo time episodes, and we've had almost 400 of them, and we basically just like set up something where and sometimes there'll be like a purpose behind it. Like we did the other day, our most recent one that's doing well is which hot shot is the hottest.
Right, I've seen it.
Yeah. So
That's stupid. Oh my God. And I would not would participate in the hot shot of it.
but you're kind of curious which one is.
I was watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, was it? Was it the red one? I can't remember. What
yeah,
up?
the orange ones.
Yeah,
that JD liked. He called it, and Donnie actually was took the wrong end of that stick, pun intended.
Yeah, I saw that episode with the hot shots. I was like, man, that's not. Let me ask you this. Does anybody, have you ever had, I mean, I've seen broken legs. Have you ever had somebody get like, well, we got to cut the cake. We got to cut the Have you ever done those?
No, fortunately, everybody kind of knows, hey, if nothing happens that's interesting, then we did not have a good episode today. So if someone does get hurt or knocked out or hangs up and drags, y'all better keep filming because that's how we make our living.
Yeah, you got to keep filming, but sometimes you're like, maybe we shouldn't have put, should have put him on Lucifer. Probably not a good idea. Yeah.
Well, that some of our episodes end up a little boring because I don't put them on Lucifer. I call them bucket list bulls. I talked to Wyatt might have been going to come out a few times, but I got a couple that will buck, but I don't put people on them unless they're ready.
Right.
And then if somebody's new to the area, I put them on a bucket list bull, which is if you only want to ever get on one bull, you're going to get on this one.
Right.
And he's another nickname for him is Birthday Cake. If you'd read it in Lucifer, his birthday.
All right.
So, but anyway, yeah, we try to occasionally though something wild, what's his Jace Stout, intern of ours, he broke his leg. That was a really good episode.
Well, there's
So great for Jace.
Cowboy Sharon.
Yeah. His bicep popped off the bone.
Yeah. And my kid got the thrill. My kid went down to Cody's and got on the same steer that
Cowboy did?
That Cowboy did. Yeah.
Did you ride him, Wyatt? Probably? Yeah, I figured you probably did.
Did you ride him?
Yeah, it's I think it was actually maybe I did right. I think it was about 7.5, if maybe.
Yeah, you rode him further than Cowboy though. Does that mean? Do you think that means you could also beat up Cowboy? Yeah. Now, Cowboy asked me to train him. Of course, why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
World's greatest bull rider.
Exactly.
And so I did, and unfortunately, his 41-year-old body, the old bicep, just ripped right off the line. First jump.
Yeah.
But anyway, much different than your bull riding career.
Yeah, a little different than mine. Mine didn't last very long.
Yeah. Did you ever have to do anything like that for your shows? Did you ever do anything wild and crazy, physically? No,
I didn't even
just chase falcons.
Yeah, well, I did little britches. I rode a steered little britches.
Yeah.
Little calf.
Yeah.
That was the end of that.
Right.
Well, it's the cave thing.
What?
You went into the cave.
You went into a cave?
Yeah.
Cave diving?
We did some stuff that's why I only did 3 episodes. We did 50 episodes, 3 seasons, because they were trying to kill me.
They're trying to kill you.
Well, because I was, believe it or not, I was fatter then than I am now. And they had me spelunking.
Oh.
And we were in Kentucky, I think. I can't remember where it was, but there was an underground lake.
We had a little power outage, so hopefully. Me and Dale Brisby had a small power outage here at the house, so we're going to pick up the interview where we left off. Hopefully we can save the first half of the episode, but if not, we hope you enjoy this second half. We got all the other stuff out of the way on the first one.
Yeah, I bet we can save it, Donnie. Yeah, I bet we can save it. Yeah.
It's going to be hard to recreate the magic of the first half of the interview, but
there was just so much chemistry. We had a moment.
We had the whole thing going.
It was kind of like
And
when
now it's gone.
our brims even touched.
I'm gonna
The
have to
brims
break-
of our hats touched,
I know.
people.
I'm going to have to break up with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't work in these conditions.
So you were explaining sprelunking?
I was spelunking. I was fatter than I am now. And
Well, let me ask. Is it 5-acre underground lake?
Yeah.
Does that mean it's is there water and then
yes,
some
in
air?
the mountain.
But is there air between the ceiling of the cave and the? Oh, okay.
So
you can put a boat down in there.
Yes. The story is that this kid, when he was a kid, he discovered this huge underground lake in these caves, and so he spelunked and went through cracks and crevices. So wonder he didn't get killed. And all of a sudden he looked and he saw something blue and he came crawling through this hole and he pulled himself up and he looked and there was nothing but a massive lake in the middle of the mountain. And that's true. We went the same way the kid went. And we had to crawl, dude, and I'm claustrophobic, but there was probably from here to that wall, what would you say that is? Probably
25 feet?
25 feet. And I could barely fit through the hole. Dang. And I crawled through that hole because the cameraman went first and put a camera there on the other side. So, dude, it was freaking me out. I'm like, if I get stuck in here. But I made it through, and as soon as I got to the other side, we crawled up another deal and then went through another little cavern, and there's this amazing blue lake.
Wow.
And salmon the size of your freaking left leg.
Dang.
I don't know why I picked the left leg.
Yeah.
But he used the right leg.
Because yeah.
Both of your legs are the same size. I'm just saying.
I think they are.
I should have just said the size of your leg.
And they're pretty small, but it would be a big salmon.
But there's salmon swimming around in there. It was beautiful. But it was crazy because we're at this one part we get through, and then you have to, there's a deep drop on the side, and you have to climb up. And it's really claustrophobic. And one of my cameramen, he did everything. This guy, we got off a show where he was hanging off of helicopters in a logging show. He'd hang off helicopters with ropes and film flying over. So that guy scared of that. He's freaking out.
Oh, dang. Everybody's freaking out.
Like, man, I'm really claustrophobic.
Had people gone in there all the time?
Well, here's the funny part of it. It's not fun. It's funny now.
Yeah.
But not then.
I hope you're enjoying a ranch fuel as you're listening to this episode of Rodeo Time. Use code DALE on ranchfuel.com for 15% off, old son. Drink up and use code DALE on ranchfuel.com. Rock and roll denim is what Dale Brisby uses to spur his bucking bulls. I get the reflex. Gives me the mobility I need to be the cowboy I am. So go to rockandrolldenim.com, old son.
We get done. We finish the episode. And it's funny. I mean, every time I watch it, I go, man, that's a hilarious episode. I'm glad I did it. But while I was doing it, I was cussing him. I was mad.
Yeah.
And I go to the guy, I go, well, the guy comes up to me, the kid that led the tour, and only a few of us could go. So I had two cameramen and my director didn't even go. It was just me and a couple cameramen and me and him. He was really claustrophobic, and he goes, man, I'm freaking out. I'm about to lose it here. And I go, no, look at me. And I told him, I go, look at me. Tell me a joke. Let's tell each other jokes. Get your mind off of it, because I'm claustrophobic. And so we get done with it, and the kid goes, man, that was awesome. I can't believe they wanted you to go down this way. We never take anybody down this way. I go, well, you've been down it, though. No, it's only the second time I've ever done it. He goes, I was actually kind of worried. I was thinking, man, if somebody gets stuck, there's no way to get anybody out of it because nobody ever comes down this way. And I'm going, you sons of... I can't believe you risked our lives for this stupid... And then he goes, normally we just take people on the tour and we just walk around the rails over there, and then you can go all the way around to the back and come up the back way. There it is. They got a viewing platform. And I go, they got a viewing platform and we're climbing through rocks and sand? I mean, it was irritating.
Oh, my God.
And there's only one other time that I was mad. We were getting, and only in America, we were getting, in South Carolina, we're getting oysters and stuff. So the tide goes out, and then you walk out in the mud, and you start getting that stuff. Well, I had a guide and everything. Well, evidently, before it started, my producer told the guy, "Hey, take him somewhere where it's kind of risky, but not real risky. Like it's safe." He goes, "Oh yeah, I know a place." This was the conversation. So we get out there, and the tide's out, and you're walking in this mud, and all of a sudden, I get stuck, and I'm sinking down to my knees. And he goes, "Oh yeah, all right, Larry, just." Grab onto those branches and just kind of roll. You'll get out of there. And he goes, I'll come help you. And he's like, you know what? Man, I'm really sorry, Larry. This is a lot deeper than I thought it was. He goes, can you feel bottom? I go, no, I can't feel bottom. Shit. Right? And now I'm like, well, shit, that can't be good. Right? Now I'm up to my nuts in mud. And so I'm trying to pull myself out, and he's using a bucket to try to pull himself out. I got a cameraman stuck on the other side. Then I look and I see my director doing the cut. Cut it. We don't want to film this. Cut it. In case something happens, it's not going to be on film, right? And right when I saw him do that, I'm like, you moron. And so it took me, Dale, I sunk all the way up to my waist, and I still couldn't feel the bottom. And now I got a firm grip on this stuff, and I'm rolling and rolling. Finally, that guy gets to me to help me he's helping pull me up. He gets to the dry land. 42 minutes it took me to get out of that flipping mud, because it was sucking me down but when I would roll, I would get kind of loose. Finally got out of there, and I walked. Then we had to walk out. So we had to find spots to walk out.
They start filming again.
Let's just say I used a few choice words on my director, and that was about it.
Golly.
Yeah, so I punched him. In the next episode, he wanted me to get in a ball. It was a big rubber clear ball. It was something they had on a hill where you get in it, and you get in this ball, and you roll down the hill completely in the ball.
Knocker balls.
Whatever, yeah. And I says, well, I ain't doing it. You get in it. You get in it. I ain't getting in it. Oh, what? You call me a pussy all the time. Get in the ball. You got to do something. Come on, get on camera. So I made him get in it.
Did he go down?
Oh, yeah. And it ruined him for the whole day. Dizzy, throwing up. It was awesome.
That sounds terrible.
I got my revenge. Oh, horrible. Why would I do that? And not only that, it's not even the theme of the show. The theme of the show was about people that came to this country, the greatest country in the world, and took an idea, and they're in America. So now they have all the freedom to take this idea and turn it into what it is today.
Uh-huh.
That had nothing to do with, none of that had anything. It's like, they don't go hunt for oysters in Europe. Of course they do.
Yeah.
This is nothing unique to the United States. They were just starting to put me in dangerous situations because they saw that was really funny, and we were getting so now they're trying to find something dangerous. So that's when I quit doing that show.
Yeah, they've got, however long to film, and all that money to be out there, so we got to make something happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So they feel this pressure, and I get it to some extent, but it's at your expense.
Yeah, absolutely at my expense. So I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore, so I quit. And then one more thing about the show that did make me laugh is I had to do a show with the naked cowboy.
Okay.
The guy in New York that wears his underwear and plays guitar. And I didn't want to do it, I was fatter than I was even when I did I've been fat a lot. And so I had to wear cowboy boots and underwear, and that's it.
Oh, so they made you go naked also.
Yeah. And they gave me a guitar and a cowboy hat, and I had to go to Central Park and hang out with the naked cowboy in my underwear.
Okay.
It was 58 degrees. It was kind of drizzly, but he's down there. And so here was my thought. Well, we're at that underground parking lot. We're about to walk out, make a left, head to Central Park. Well, the good news is I ain't got my get up on, so nobody's going to know it's me anyway. I don't got a ball cap on. I got no camo on. I got no sleeveless shirt on. Everybody's going to think I'm just a regular weirdo hanging out in New York City. No big deal. So that was comforting to know nobody's going to care. I'm just going to look like another. So I said, all right, let's go. Let's do it. Ain't nobody gonna know it's me. We walk out of the parking garage, make a left. I no sooner make a left. There's a Iraqi taxi cab driver. You know, he looks at me and he goes, "Ha ha! Lenny the cable guy, get her done!" I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, there goes that. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. Then we had a lunch break, and so I went and got some pizza, and I'm sitting up there in my underwear, a cowboy hat, and people are getting pizza, just walking by me like it's no big deal.
When's the first time you said "get her done"?
Oh man, on stage in about 1989 when I was doing a cable installer bit on stage. And then I started calling a radio station in Tampa Bay. And I would sign off with "get her done." All right, boys, whatever you got to do, let's just get her done.
Yeah.
Get her done. Yeah, get her done. Whatever it is, give 100% and get her done. You know, it was funny. I'd say it all different ways. It just got popular. Then I copyrighted it, got some T-shirts and copyrighted it because everybody was saying it.
That has to be like the most popular saying in
I knew
the
it was going to
world.
do well nationally because locally in Florida, you know, I started saying it on that radio station in 91. I ran for president. My motto was "Hootie Hoo" in 92. And we sold "Get Her Done" T-shirts. And but by the time I hooked up with Blue Collar, they'd been saying "Get Her Done" and Larry the Cable Guy for 10 years before I got on Blue Collar. So I knew it was going to have some staying power nationally because it was still going strong in Florida for 10 years. But yeah, that's when you never realize what's going to hit and what's not going to hit. So you throw everything against the wall and you market yourself, and you never know when it's going to hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everything came out of that character that I created.
Yeah.
You know, the Pixar Mater,
Toe Mater.
all that came out of just one day coming up with a character and just pushing my wares, not making any money for it. Some places I'd make some money at it. But yeah, in the end, it turned out to be a real good blessing that I came up with it. I never thought, I do a bit in my act about first time I ever heard anybody say it was I was leaving a grocery store and somebody was walking out and they said to their buddy, "I'll see you tomorrow, get her done." I'm like, "Well, get her done. That's awesome." And then the guy yells back, "All right, get her done." And I go, "Hey, wait, that's what I say." And I told the guy, I go, "Where'd you hear that "get her done" at? That's hilarious." He goes, "Oh, this guy on the radio station, local radio station there. He signs up. His name's Larry the Cable Guy. He always goes, "Get her done." He does these social commentaries. It's hilarious. I go, "That's me." I'm Larry. I was all proud of it. I go, "That's me. I'm Larry the Cable Guy." He goes, "Get out. Shut up."
Yeah, no way.
I go, "No, I swear I'm Larry the Cable Guy." He goes, "Let me hear you say 'get her done.'" I went, "Get her done." He goes, "That ain't even close to how he does it." I'm like, "All right then." So that's when I went out and got a copyright because I'm like, "Well, man, people are starting to do it and the whole thing." So that was a smart move right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been going on a long time. And I'll tell you how a lot of people wonder how I started doing it on stage. Was my buddy Les McCurdy at the comedy club in McCurdy's Comedy Club in Sarasota. He billed me as Dan Whitney, which is my real name,
Right.
AKA Larry the Cable Guy. And I pull up to the Holiday Inn, and it's packed. And I told Les, I go, "Man, we got a convention going on. It's packed in here." He goes, "They're here to see you." And of course, I'm like, "What'd I do?" Why are they coming to see me? And I'm just a middle act. I was headlining small rooms at the time, but middle act, most of the big rooms. "I hope you don't mind, but I billed you as Larry the Cable Guy." And I go, "Oh man," I was mad. I was
Really?
like, "Les, man, my act is nothing like Larry the Cable Guy. He's political. I don't get political. I'm all one-liner goofy jokes, He goes, "Well, I sold out in like 17 minutes, 2 shows. So he sold 700 tickets." I'm like, really? So I went up. He introduced me, and I went up. And man, 5 minutes in, there's big get her done. Larry, we love Larry. So I didn't have any jokes written for Larry because it was all this. It was all, what the hell is this, Rushy? I'm madder than what was one of them? I'm madder than a legless Ethiopian watching a donut roll down a hill.
Yeah, that's
that kind of stuff. What's up with these loony lefties up there? It was all political. So I dipped down into the character. And I took my jokes, slowed them down, and did them as Larry. And I got done with the show, and I'm signing autographs, and I'm taking pictures, and I'm going, man, this is insane. And then he came up and he goes, you ever thought about doing your whole show? Just Larry the Cable Guy. I said, no. He goes, well, can you do that for 45 minutes? I said, less. You know me and my buddy. I talk like a redneck all day long. That ain't hard for me to do. Yeah. You should try it. I said, all right, I'm going to go change. So,
this is between shows.
Yeah, between shows. I said, I'm going to go change. I'll do the last show and take my name off of there. Just put Larry the Cable Guy. And so a lot of people think I grew up in an apartment somewhere and came up with this redneck. I didn't. I grew up in Nebraska, on a farm, raising pigs. And so I know the lifestyle. Yeah. I know the whole thing. I went to college in Georgia. Everybody had an accent. So, and I was living in Florida. I picked that up in a second. So yeah. I went and let you know I wasn't faking it. I put on exactly what I drove over in. I drove over in a 1986 Trans Am with T-tops with a big blue bird I just had painted on the hood.
Yeah.
And pair of lace-up ropers, jeans, a sleeveless Nebraska T-shirt, and a NASCAR hat. That's what I drove over in. And he introduced me as Larry the Cable Guy for the first time and went up and slayed it.
Yeah.
And just took my jokes and just slowed them down.
Right.
And so I got done and a light bulb went off. And I go, man, I'm only on one radio station. And this is what happened if I could get on more radio stations. So that's how I did it. I just started. I would go into these comedy clubs that already had booked, and they'd heard of it. They'd heard of me before. So they go, hey, they'd always go, hey, what's this deal you're doing on a radio station? This is Larry the Cable Guy. And I'd tell them, and they go, boy, we'd love to have that on here, but they don't pay no money here. So I say, you ain't got to pay me nothing. They go, what do you mean we ain't got to pay you? Because here's what I learned about morning radio. They all can use 3.5 minutes of something funny that they ain't got to do nothing. You know what I mean? As long as they don't got to work and come up with it, they'll play it if it's funny.
Yeah.
And so I said, you ain't got to pay me. You ain't got to pay you? What do you mean? I said, I tell you what. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you whatever day you want. I'll call in and do it, and I'll I'll do like a national type story, and I'll do it. You ain't going to pay me, but I guarantee you in 2 months, you'll be able to get a sponsor for it, and you'll be able to pay me something out. Whatever you want to pay me is fine. All I ask is that when I come to the comedy club, make it a radio station deal and promote I'm coming to the club.
Dang.
Well, yeah, we can do that. All right. So there you go. A week later, hey, we got the guy named Larry the Cable Guy is calling up. He does these commentaries. He lives over it. And they made like I was there, What's up, boys? Hey, what the hell is this, Rush? And then I would go into it. And, man, I ended up getting about 27 stations syndicated across the country, and that's how it started.
Dang.
Just like that.
Talk about promoting.
Yeah, oh, dude. Well, that's why I'm always like, I think it's cool when I watch you and I watch when I talk about Kreischer, people that know they have something and it's fun and they constantly promote it.
Yeah,
that's what it takes. Constant promotion. And that's what I did. Just constant promotion. And that one little deal that I came up with turned into the blue collar comedy tour turned into a huge tour for 4 or 5 years. You know, I did arenas. I did arenas for like 10 years.
Yeah.
At least 8 years, 8, 9, 10 years. I'm doing an arena next year. And then it led to Pixar. It led to like the coolest freaking Pixar cartoon character.
Yeah.
All from that one little idea that I kept pushing and pushing. And finally, thank God, it started to work. So that's why I always tell people that I see promote, man. I always want to congratulate you and say good job, because that's what it takes.
Yeah. How tell me about the cars. How iconic was that?
Oh man,
to play?
Cars was insane, you know. I remember when I first got it, I got a fax.
Ever since I started riding bulls and punching fools, I've been wearing an American hat because I'm an American. I actually wore a different hat before that for the longest, but then my mom got a job. So wear an American hat, old son. Otherwise, you ain't no cowboy. Total Feeds is what keeps the herd powered here at Radiator Ranch, and Total Equine is what I've been giving Boone for 10 years. He's 24 years old and still going strong. You can get it on Chewy.com or a dealer near you.
And it said they offered me the role, and I called my manager. I go, offer me the role? What does that mean? When I got to go audition? When do I got to audition? No, you don't. You got it. I'm like, I got it. Oh my God, I was so thankful, man. I'm not kidding. I shed a tear. I was crying. I'm like, man, these are iconic movies.
Yeah.
I better start watching them. I better watch one of these cartoons. But anyway, so I went out there, and here's a really cool story about it. I went out there, and John Lasseter was great. He's a gearhead, you know, and his wife's from Arkansas, so I get along with him really good. He shows me around, then we go into the studio, and my first line was, my name's Mater, like tomato without the tut. That was my first line. And he told me that we do a lot of takes. He says, don't think you're doing bad. A lot of people think they're not doing well because I have them do it like 10 times, but I just need different inflections. I'm like, all right. Then I asked him, I'm like, well, is Mater like, is more of a slower type character? He goes, no, he's you. I don't care how you play him. He's you. Mater's you. You just be you. That's how Mater is. So I'm like, oh, okay. So he did his line, and I remember I looked at him. He did his line, and I went, hey, my name's Mater, like tomato without the tuh. And he starts laughing. He goes, oh, this is going to be so good. Right? And I'm like, man, that's awesome. I only did it like maybe 4 times, maybe 5 times. Get done. I was only there for maybe, 4 hours. I had maybe 15 lines. And I don't hear from him for like 5 months. And I call my agent in passing. I go, hey, whatever happened to that cartoon we were doing? I knew it. Didn't they like it? I mean, you'd think we heard some. I bet I got fired. I bet they didn't like it. They're blowing smoke. And he's like, yeah, I haven't heard from him either. So when he said that, I'm like, oh, boy, my one chance. And so he says, I'll call you back when I hear something. I said, all right. Well, he calls me back. He goes, hey, you sitting down? And right then I'm like, crap, they didn't like it. Well, it's not that they didn't like it. They said Mater's the heart and soul of the movie. And they haven't called us because they've been rewriting some of the movie to add more Mater. And I go, are you kidding me? He goes, no, man. He goes, they're adding more lines. I'm like, yeah.
I was about to say, because I thought you had more lines than that.
So I was stoked. And then we went and did the premiere, and John Lasseter came up and goes, I think we're going to do another one. This is like my pet project. I've always wanted to do something. I think we're going to do another one. How's this? Mater goes to Tokyo. And I'm like, that's hilarious. Yeah. Mater should go to 9 different countries. It's funny. I saw McQueen, Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
We were doing a promotion. I did it somewhere else. He had to go to Daytona. So I went to Daytona just hanging out. Michael Waltrip's a buddy of mine. So I'm just Daytona hanging out with Michael. And I came across Owen Wilson. I go, Owen, what's going on? Hey, promoting the movie, man. I go, man, you think they're going to do another one? He goes, oh, I hope so. I love doing this. So he was all like, yeah, let's hope there is another one. So yeah, that was a pretty fun deal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Woo! Dad, God, we should Dale Brisby's.
We said the power went out.
We was yeah, woo! We was at Dale Brisby's, lost the whole tape because the power went out.
Donnie Daytona was pissed.
Donnie Daytona, holy smokes!
Oh, that little redhead popped his top.
He made me happier than a damn tornado in the trailer park when he started it, but then the power went out. Damn you, Donnie Daytona.
And your little redheaded powers.
And your little red-headed powers.
Your superpowers.
McQueen, he's got red-headed powers. Run!
Oh, is this all the time, Wyatt? This is just growing up with, yeah.
Oh, what?
Was it easy to, or was it hard to like just keep the voice going on stage?
No, not at all.
No.
No, you know, it's really funny. Like, when I went to college, my roommate was from Dalton, Georgia, and my other one was from Beaumont, Texas. So I picked up the accent real easy. I mean, I can pick up, like, my wife's from Wisconsin. So when I go to Wisconsin, if I'm hanging out with her dad, it ain't 3 days. I'm like going, hey, you want to head out there to the deal? You know, because I'm mocking him, you know. But, you know, I go into that sometimes.
Like Kamala Harris does, you know, doesn't she do that in her different places?
Yeah, exactly.
You better think of union member.
But I do, you know, sometimes I don't even realize I do. 'Cause I've lived in Florida for so long. I mean, you know, all I did was hang out in country bars and all
Right.
that kind of stuff. So sometimes I do it. I don't even realize I'm doing it. Now, I live in Nebraska now, so I moved back to my home state. And I kind of lose it a little bit just in daily talk because nobody talks like that.
Right.
But it was really funny. But like if an old friend or something calls, like the other day, I was just sitting around the house. This normal, my buddy Brad called. Hey, what's going on? Nothing, Brad, what you doing? Hey, Daryl's got that deal. Are you going to be able to make that deal in here February? I talked to his wife. You know, the whole thing. Man, I don't know, Brad. We might come up there, but we got that deal over, you know, and I'm talking to Brad, like I always talk to Brad. And then my wife, I hung up. She goes, you know, you talked to Brad in character the whole time. I go, no, I didn't. She goes, yeah, I did. I go, well, it's Brad. I mean, what do you want me to do?
That's how Brad knows me.
That's how Brad knows me. You know, it's just one of those deals. Sometimes I remember early on I caught flack for that. You know, he puts on his, but I don't. It just happens. You know, I mean, literally. I mean, I moved to Florida in 1978, and I didn't move back to Nebraska till 2011. Every friend I got's got a Southern accent.
Yeah.
Almost everyone I got. So, I mean, I just picked it up.
Right.
So, there you go. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry for partying.
Yeah, sorry. I apologize.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah. It doesn't bother me. Yeah. Well, and in the bull business, you've been in that for a while.
Man, well, here's the deal. I love that stuff. You know, I started sponsoring Tater Porter in the PBR way back in the 90s.
And Corey Wall.
And Corey, absolutely. And Corey, but, you know, I had a couple horses in Florida, and I kept them over at my buddy Dusty's house down in Kissimmee. And so after Wednesdays, every Wednesday I'd go down there and he'd have me saddled up and we'd go work his cows out there. It was fun. I loved doing that. You know, I grew up with it. So I love doing that kind of stuff. But that's where I met Tater and Danny. And, man, I just started sponsoring him and started going to the PBR. And Tater and I put on a PBR of our own down there, a Bud Light, what was it back in the day? It was called the Touring Pro Division.
Yeah.
We put one in Orlando together. I mean, it was just fun. So we go out to Vegas all the time to the PBR finals, and it was a good time. And then that's when I started, well, I want to get involved in bulls, you know? So that's when I started buying naming rights to bulls and all that. So I got Chicken on a Chain, and I was proud of that one because, you know, you can't wear a buckle unless you're in a buckle.
Right.
You know, like you've earned
mine,
this
of
buckle.
course.
You've earned this biscuit serving buckle. And
Champion this year.
Yeah, exactly.
I earned it this year.
So, but Chicken on a Chain won Bull of the Year. And I go, hey,
Give me my buckle.
Give me that buckle.
Yeah.
I paid for that buckle. You
Yeah.
know, I fed that freaking bull for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I got a buckle out of it. So I gave it to my kid. My kid started bull riding. So I said, you know what? You can't wear a buckle unless you're in a butt. The family, this is like a family buckle. You can wear that because we earn that buckle. So he's got that buckle on. But it's fun. I enjoy doing. Here's what I like doing. I like helping. I like bull riding. It's fun. And I like all of the events. Like my daughter's trying to break away rope. I had a whole rodeo team in the PRCA at one point. You know, I had Britt Buckus and Guy Allen and what's his name? That's still roping, still the team roper. He's from Oklahoma.
Derek McGay.
No, Northern.
Trevor Brazil.
Not Trevor. Man, what's his name? Doggone. And I had him forever. He's going to be so mad I forgot.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm getting old.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah.
The one with the glasses. The big guy with the glasses.
Junior Noguera.
No,
that's Brazil.
I'll think of it. He's going to be mad. I love him so much. He's such a good roper. But anyway, so I had a whole team. You know, Shally Lord, barrel racer.
You know, I had a whole team for a while. It was fun. So when I started doing history. I started doing a ton of other stuff. And so I just kind of went in and do a different direction. Here's the deal. I quit selling merchandise at shows. It just got, for me, they were taking too much of a cut in the theaters. If you get $100,000 in merchandise, by the time you're done, you make 11 grand. You know, it wasn't worth it for me. Right. To lug stuff around and all that. And so I just kind of quit doing merch. So once I quit doing merch, it's like, well, I'm not selling merch. So
Yeah.
but I liked helping.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's what the endorsements would help with. But yeah.
Yeah, endorsements help a ton. Absolutely. So I just started. Then my kid said he wanted to ride bulls, and I'm like, oh boy, oof, really?
Yeah.
Here's somebody that never played football. I mean, he's good at it, just never played any kind of sports, you know. And all of a sudden, he wants to play the
roughest one of all.
So I'm like, well, you know what? If that's what you want to do, let's give you somebody who knows what you're doing. So he said,
Brisby didn't answer the phone.
well, we were the first call we got. And then he said, not Dale. And so
He's just really odd. Dad, he's an odd guy.
so I knew Cody Lambert. I thought,
That's a good second call.
yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
You can't get Dale. You got to go with
Yeah.
Cody.
Tony Lambert.
But I know him through Tater and the guys. So I called him up and he goes, well, big is. Said, I'm 5'6", 120. Well, he's right in a perfect size. I thought he was going to be a fat guy like you. I'm like, thanks a lot, Cody. Appreciate it. But he goes, you know what? A lot of guys think they want a bull ride because they do it to look tough or pick up women. Or he goes, tell you what, bring him down to me for 3 days. We'll find out if he wants to ride. I said, okay. And I took him down there. Cody's such a good dude, man. He tried to take a liking to him. And he told me, he said, hey, he's got good upper body strength. He's got, you know what? It's all about if you love it. If you love it, I say let him try it.
Yeah.
If he loves it.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So then my next step was, well, if you're going to go big, you either go big or go home. If you're going to do something, you don't half-ass it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, do it. So what do I do? I bought the PBR finals, the chutes, and back pins, and I got an indoor arena, and I put in probably one of the best bull riding arenas you can put in.
Yeah.
And I make it safe. I always make sure I pay 2 EMTs to be there every time we buck. I make sure I got 2 professional bullfighters.
Yeah.
I always get Eli Sharkey, who's a really good bullfighter, and Mason. What's Mason's last name?
Yeah, Tank. He is really dope.
Mason Shelton.
Yeah.
I get Mason. And so I got a good deal.
Yeah, for
sure. I got some kids from. So then Wyatt, for she met a couple other bull riding buddies are here too. The Waderson boys, Eli and Isaac. And so I said, man, I'm gonna give me another little bull ride team, help these kids out, pay their fees when they go out, and just, it's their dream. They want to ride bulls, and then you need help. You can't, you're not making enough money to enter a lot of stuff. So it's like, I got 7 kids, and we all got to match, and I ordered everybody 100X helmets with the getter gun and the whole deal. So I like doing that. So that's what I'm doing. And then I said, well, we got to get bulls. So I partnered up with a buddy of mine who raises bulls. And he grew up like me. That's what I like about it. He just loves bull riding. He grew up by the sale bar. He loves going to sales.
Yeah.
He's just like me. And so I bought half of his stock. And so now we just try to find bulls that are good practice bulls for these kids. And so it's fun. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, Dale. I haven't made $1 in any kind of bull riding business.
Yeah.
I do it because it's a hobby, and I'm trying to help these kids along.
Yeah.
And I get a thrill out of it because I get to watch them develop. And then if they do happen to do well, you get to go and you feel like you've got a little action in the game. Man, these are our kids. We started them. That's why I do it. So to any contractor that thinks, they mention me and Dana White, as they just buy these bulls, they throw unlimited money into these. That ain't true.
Right.
I'm doing it just like everybody else. We got some 1-year-olds and some 2-year-olds, and we got a couple old retired PBR bulls. And, you want to, like you said, you want to match these kids to their ability.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do. Absolutely. So I love it. It's fun. And it's a fun thing for me to do. And so far, I'm the only one making a dime.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what I'm trying to do with my intern program. Like I've got those kind of bulls, and not quite as nice of a facility, but
you got a good facility though.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it.
And here's the thing. I don't want to do I don't want to do like any of that kind of stuff. I'm just doing this to help the kids. I'm literally the cable guy, so whatever. I got my getter dog stuff, but your whole deal with your Neil and all that's awesome, man. That's a freaking great business. That's a lot of fun. So
No,
I'm not going in that direction. I'm just thinking of staying with what I'm.
No, it's a win-win. Because I love rodeo, and I find myself at home and around the bucking chutes, and I've always been blessed to have access to a practice pen, and so I like to be able to, facilitate that for young guys coming up that want to learn, and I also need people to work in the warehouse and on the ranch, so these guys we help each other out, but. It's
a cool deal.
Yeah,
I love it.
No, I've always been a fan of your involvement with the industry. So, and I appreciate you coming on the podcast today.
So yeah, I had to give him. I mean, that's the feather in my cap. You got to do Dale Brisby.
Yeah,
like Rodeo, you got to do the Dale Brisby podcast.
There you go.
I mean, shoot.
Well, we normally wrap.
We got Cornwall on. You got to have me on.
Yeah. We're Donnie Gay is our next one.
Oh, Donnie on?
Yeah, he'll be here Thursday.
I love Donnie Gay.
Yeah.
My favorite Donnie Gay is when he goes last year when Kai got knocked out, flipped around.
No.
My Donnie Gay just, he's so into the ride. And Donnie Gay, you hear it very slightly in the back. I think they cut it out in the replay. But live, because we went home, we saw it live, and then we went home and watched it. You hear Donnie Gay go, "Oh, no,
Yeah, that's okay.
It's like, and then I saw him, out there, like, "Hey, Donnie," you just heckle you a little. "Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I meant," he was trying to say, "No, I didn't mean to say that." He's not putting, "Oh, I should have never."
Have you ever crossed paths with Terry Bradshaw?
Yeah, Terry Bradshaw was in one of my Christmas specials.
Yeah, he was on the podcast a couple months ago. He is hilarious.
Let me tell you, you want your great story?
Absolutely.
This one I knew fuck. Terry Bradshaw. I love Terry. I know this one in Foxworth. He was really famous. You know, I mean, I knew he was getting famous. I'm at his house one time. He's over there getting something, and his phone rings. I look down, I go, oh, look at Terry Bradshaw. I go, Jeff, it's Terry Bradshaw. He goes, yeah, just let it ring through, I'll get it later. I go, really? It's Terry Bradshaw. He goes, yeah, I know, but just let it ring through. I love Terry, but I'm busy right now. He's going to tell me about, I can't get him off the phone. You know, he's always going to tell me some kind of joke, which I love, but I can't talk right now. And I know I'm going to be on with him for 20 minutes. I said, all right. Oh, man, with Terry Bradshaw. That you're famous when Terry Bradshaw calls and you just go, I'll get it later. That's famous. So here you go, about 10 years later, 8 years later, I meet Terry Bradshaw. He's in my Christmas special. We're hanging out. He's awesome. You know, he's on the NFL show. He's going, hey, get it, my buddy Larry, get it. Yeah, just quote me. So I meet him, and I'm sitting at the house one day. I get a couple buddies over. My phone rings. No lie. My phone rings. Sitting on the table. My buddy's sitting there, and he goes, dude, it's Terry Bradshaw's calling you. I go, yeah, let it ring through. I'll give it. I can't get him off the phone. It goes on for 20 minutes. 8 years later, I did the same thing Jeff did. You'll be doing it. Yeah. Trust me, you'll be doing it.
That's when I'll know I've made it.
You'll be doing it, trust me.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, yeah. I don't know why you too. Yeah, he agreed. And both you guys. But I appreciate you guys coming on the podcast, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Hey, how often do you buck out there? Do you buck every day?
Once a week.
What? Just once a week?
Because sometimes twice.
Okay.
Just whenever the mood arises.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, y'all are welcome to come down.
I mean, we've been wanting to come down there forever, but, I do live in Nebraska.
It'll be best to double.
Let's go down to Dale.
It'll be best to double dip on the trip. Like if you got something else going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're not far from Cody.
No, about an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you find yourself going down there for that, then yeah.
If we make a trip, I'm gonna take these three with me. I got the Uyghur boys with me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And I want to take them down to Cody's.
Yep.
And just have him take a peek at them and see any things and give him some tips. And we'll pop over there.
Yeah. I'm in the process of getting a couple new bulls. I got 3 or 4 right now. I've got a few new ones coming in.
Awesome.
So yeah, we'll have plenty of stock. That's for sure.
Man, we got this practice bull named Pepper. It's the greatest practice bull of all time.
Yeah.
Big bull comes out, does some nice little spins. Nice, it's a nice bull, right, guys?
Yeah.
Buckshot, and if you fall off,
He stops.
and stamps.
Love it.
And it's like if I had 10 of them, I'd be happy.
That's exactly what a guy needs. Get on Pepper 75 times.
Yeah.
And then go get on something else.
Pepper ain't gonna come at you.
Yep.
Pepper just wants to do his job. And
That's how you start a bull riding.
yeah, my kid got on a bull named Mickey one time, and he got bucked off, and Mickey stepped on his chap.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get out of the way, and Mickey's head came back and looked and lifted his leg up. Off his chap.
That's the kind of bull.
I know.
I got 2 of those. I've got 2 of those at the house, and then I got a couple others that are kind of buckers, but
Right.
yeah. But anyway, we usually wrap up with life advice.
Life advice.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I don't know. Keep your head down and get your right side. That's for golf. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's for
Hey, for some people, golf is life. Yeah.
I enjoy golf. You play golf?
No, golf is for pussies.
I used to think that too until I started playing it. I like it. You get to be 60 years old. Trust me, you'll go out and play some golf. That's about all you'll be able to do athletically.
Yeah. I believe it.
I was going to play in this. I played in 5 charity events this year. I only played 4, but one was for Make-A-Wish kids. And their wish was for me not to play the junk. So I didn't play out there.
Cool deal. Well, some
Well, in my life, but yeah, get her done.
Whatever
Whatever you got to do, give 100%. Don't quit. Don't quit on your dreams. You know, if there's something that you want to do, try to do it.
yes, sir.
Absolutely, because you don't want to grow up and go, man, I wonder what it'd been like if I'd went and tried to. You know what I mean? You got to give it a shot.
Yes, sir.
You got to give it a shot. And if it's not for you, you'll know real quick it's not for you. But if there's anything that you wanted to do, you should attempt to do it.
Mine is laughter is always the best medicine, unless you're treating diarrhea.
That's good. Yeah, it's good. And don't it's better to crack your knuckles than knuckle your crack. I think that's good advice.
That's a good one. Always give 100% unless you're donating blood.
That's a good one too. I like that one.
Yeah.
Now,
Not trying to one up Larry the Cable Guy here. Those are my only two. If you'd have had another one, that's it.
I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah.
Finish show.
All right. Well, we're on to the next one. You guys check out Get Her Done. And thanks for coming on.
Well, thanks for having me. Dale Brisby's the man. Thanks, everybody. And get her done.
Pow, pow.
Hey, Bro Tater Chip, if you like getting swole-o-matic, then get yourself some Protein on mountainops.com. Hey, or if you just like being healthy, whether you're trying to bulk up, get healthy, have energy, go to mountainops.com and use code Kevin for 20% off. Rodeotime.com is the only website that should exist because it's the greatest apparel line that has ever existed. So go there now to get a t-shirt, a hoodie, a cap, a vest, whatever it is you need, go to rodeotime.com, old son.